Yo, we dropping nuggets today, boys and girls. We have a nice little talk with Pad Sports. Shit, is that his? Hold on, is that his name? Hold on. Let me get this right. His name is. Yes, no, Plad Sports, not Pad. He is over in Canada. So for all you guys out there in Canada, there's some information here, even though it's all pretty much the same stuff. He hits plus EV, ARBs, DFS, and then we go into a section where we talk about live EV betting. A little nuggets there that are dropped there for you guys. It's pretty simple stuff for those that have gone through the whole journey of pre-game to live, but for all the new people, there's some stuff there that hopefully can clear up a couple of questions you might have about live betting. We are up in the clouds. It is a misty night. Well, misty 5:45, and this intro has been overly extended, but we are here now, so we see you in there. Peace. Yeah.
Or do you
So the concept there is mostly getting lines that are off. So let's say the total should be, I don't know, let's say you're playing basketball, you're doing NBA, it should be, I don't know, 210, and then you'll get a 206. So you'll just max it right on the over, right? Because it's 4 points off. This is off max. This is off max. I don't look at what EV percentage. I'll just look for it to be completely off, because that'll, since it's live, it's lagging behind what's actually happening. How do you build your slips in DFS?
my first priority is to keep the sport the same, or keep the type of play the same. And the reason for that is tracking, right? Like, I like to track the sports if I can. In my Picket, the sportsbook screen on OddsJam is a huge help for that as well, because a lot of the time for esports, for example, on Underdog, you're looking at the first map or first and second map kills or headshots. So I'll just go on the sportsbook screen and then I'll filter it by the first 2 kills.
Oh, good, man. Welcome to these pods. Congratulations, by
Thank
the
you.
way. I see you've been
Thank
doing
you.
really
Thank you, man.
well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, whoa. So, what's good, man? How's betting been going so far? How's well, high season's about to start, but how's hockey so far for you? Have you been
I
hitting
mean,
yet?
hockey's okay right now. Like, I'm at a phase where a lot of my accounts been limited, so I'm like
Yep.
scrambling, trying to get new accounts up. So it's kind of that area where once I get the accounts up, then I can start firing again, right? But
Yes.
right now, yeah. And then like spending time trying to get those accounts up, you have less time to bet. But yeah, I'm pretty consistent right now with the DFS mostly,
Okay.
and then trying to get my accounts back up to get the ARBs and EVs going again in the next day or two.
Yes. So how's DFS going for you? Well, I guess before we even get into this, how is the
Yeah.
sports betting story for you? How does that begin? How'd you end up finding profitable sharp betting strategies? So how does that start for you, Plaid? I'll call you Plaid.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. You can call me Plad.
All right, sweet.
I'm probably a late bloomer compared to other people. I mean, I'm like in my early 30s. I have a wife
Okay.
and kid,
So young.
and what'd you say?
It's still young.
Yeah, yeah, I guess so. I mean, like, how old are you? Are you in your
I'm
30s
20,
too?
I'm 29. I turned 30 in 19 days exactly. Well, from today. So I feel like I'm
Oh,
20
okay.
turning 20 years old again. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good way to think of it. But yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I went to school. I'm done my school. Like, unlike other bettors, a lot of them are in their early 20s, probably in school and just doing the sports betting thing on the side.
Yeah.
I I went to school and I did my CPA, which is I became an accountant for people who don't know.
Okay.
I've been working in the accounting industry for about 9 years, and the way I got around to start betting was in April of 2023 last year.
Okay.
And
Yep.
so, before that, I was a degenerate, just like everyone else, right? Just
That's
taking
the
bets
usual.
of your favorite team, taking the parlays, $1 to win $1 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I never hit one of those. So,
No.
um, yeah, I ended up losing, I think, around 5K
Okay, not
in my
bad.
early 20s. Yeah, I was in school and I was working this security job, so I was just like fucking betting. I think
Yeah.
it was like Korean tennis or some shit. Like during the night, during the night, like my graveyard shifts at my security job, and
Yeah.
I would bet like live bets of who would win like the next point. And I went
Korean.
up like, yeah, I went up
Yeah.
like 10K. I went up
Whoa.
like 10K. Yeah, initially, and then I was on my high horse, and then you know how that goes. You
Yep.
know, your ego gets driven, and you bet, you
You
start
blow
betting
it
more
all,
and heavier. Yeah, and then
and then
you
you.
blow it all, and I lost 5K, and I couldn't sleep for days because I was just a broke student at that time.
Bro,
So
yeah,
yeah,
early
it fucking
20s when you
sucked,
have
bro.
no money, losing 5K is 5K is 5K, bro.
Yeah, I
So,
know, man. It's a
yeah.
lot of money, especially when you're going to school. You got to pay for tuition and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah, of
Um,
course, man.
but anyways, I stopped betting because I was scarred, right? You know, like that was a
Of
traumatic
course.
experience for me,
Yeah.
and I got back into it April 2023. My brother-in-law,
Okay.
my wife's brother, he came up to me and he started talking to me about this sports book named Bet99, which is a local
Canada.
sports book in Canada. Yeah, I'm Canadian, by the way. I should have
Okay.
started off with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So for any Americans listening to this, it is possible to bet in Canada. We can make
Very.
money out here too.
There's no taxes
Um,
either.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like
No,
it's
no
considered.
sports betting. Yeah, it's
I
insane.
mean, I am an accountant. I'm not giving any financial advice though.
But in
But
Canada,
yeah, it's
I don't think there's sports betting tax. If I'm not mistaken, from what I read somewhere, I'm not sure.
yeah, yeah, it's considered lottery winnings essentially. So,
Okay.
uh,
Nice.
lottery winnings aren't taxed here either. Like you can win the lottery for, you know,
Nice.
100 mil or whatever,
That
and
would
it's
be
tax
sick.
free, which is
That
insane.
would be sick.
and and I always kill myself for not actually buying lottery tickets, which I should because, you know, it's tax free, right?
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
but yeah, so yeah, my brother-in-law told me about Bet99, said they had this $500 deposit bonus. And he's like, you know, you can deposit the money, and if you bet it on like a few games, you can withdraw it. And I was skeptical. I was like, you know, usually when you get deposit matches, your shit's locked for like, you know, you got to roll that shit over so many times. And if
Yeah.
you're a degenerate bettor, you're just gonna lose the money at the end of the day. So he told me about that, and on Bet99, there's actually low holds without using any other tools. Like you can on NHL, there's low holds. They call it like 0% bets where you can bet both sides of the
Yep.
money line on NHL. So I did that with a deposit bonus. I made fun $500, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is actually real. Like I actually did it, right? And then he introduced me to OddsJam, and then I you know, signed up for the tool and stuff, and the rest is history. Now I'm here doing a
Wow.
podcast with you, talking
Nice.
about what the
Sports
fuck happened
betting.
for the last year or so.
So how's the last year been going? What's that lifetime profit if you can share that, obviously. I mean, you're anonymous, so
Yeah, yeah. So like I started off arbing doing sign up bonuses. Well, I started off sign up bonuses and then
yeah.
just arbitrage, and then I made my way to DFS positive EV betting, and then straight bet positive EV betting. And over the last year and a half, I probably made around 75 to $80,000. And
Nice.
mind you, this is while I'm working a full-time job. Like I work 40 hours a
Oh.
week at my 9 to 5
So that's
as
an
an accountant.
extra. So that's an extra 75, 80K on top of that part time for the people wondering
Yeah,
if you have
bro.
to be glued to the screen all day. And like, no, you can make that extra 80K part. That's sick, man. Congrats.
Yeah,
Wow.
man, and it's made a huge difference to my lifestyle, like because I have my nine to
Hmm.
five that pays the bills and stuff like that, and you know helps
Yeah,
with
family.
putting it,
Yeah,
yeah, putting
family.
food on the table for my wife and kid,
Of course.
and the extra income I'm making is it's just like for shopping, vacations, you know, going out for nice dinners, and you know things like that that
Sick.
make you happy at the end of the day, right? So yeah,
Sick.
it does make a huge difference, and it's definitely possible doing a full-time job. Like I'll do some betting on my coffee breaks, my lunch breaks, and then obviously in the evenings. Uh, yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, it is definitely a life-changing thing for someone as a side hustle
Yeah.
because you know you can go work Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever, right? But you're not making that kind of money. You got to work like
And
slave hours to be making that kind of
yeah,
money.
not as a part time, not like and as yeah, not as an extra thing. People that make that
Yeah.
are like grinding 100-hour weeks, which is insane and also like pretty dangerous. Well, because you're out on the road more, so obviously like there's more probability of accidents, all that stuff, et cetera, et cetera. I don't even want to go down that path,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're literally sitting down, just clicking. So that's also a
Yeah.
big thing. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, but yeah, anybody that does Uber Eats stuff like that, no shame. That's still a grind, man. It's hard out
Bro, I
there
did
for
it.
some people.
I did it for a few months and I
Nice.
was
There
like,
you go.
fuck,
It's so
this is
you
hard.
get it. So you get it.
I grinded my ass off doing all those random jobs, but
Exactly.
but yeah, it's hard, right? And if
Yeah.
you can find a better alternative to do things from your phone, online, do any type of online business, it's definitely better.
Yes. So, okay, cool. So getting into a little bit about how you're using OddsJam, what are you looking for? What do you do? What's your usual like routine? How does that look like? Because I see you also contribute on the Seven Discord, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so what does that look
I'm a
like for
contributor
you?
there. Yeah. So I wake up in the morning and I pull up the OddsJam app on my phone like right when I wake up. It's probably not a good thing to wake up and just start opening your phone and looking at
Yeah,
that shit,
probably
but I'm
not.
like
Yeah.
I'm fucking addicted to sports and gambling. So,
Yeah,
that's
the
that's
right
that's
way.
that's one. Yeah, exactly. Like at least I'm making money off it.
Yeah.
So I open the app and then it's pretty simple. I just go through the the EV page and the arbitrage page, middle bets, and then I also head to the fantasy optimizer and fantasy middles just to see if there's any value in the morning. I mean,
Okay.
I'm in a Pacific time zone, so like if I'm up at 6 a.m., it's like 9 a.m. on the east
Okay.
side. So I'd say like I'll check the OddsJam pages in the morning, and then I'll check again at like lunchtime, which should be 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m.
Uh-huh.
Eastern, and then that'll be like before the game starting, right? Like
Okay. Okay.
before the game, like in either 12 or in the afternoon before, NHL, NBA,
Yeah,
MLB
yeah. What do
starts
you like to
starts
look
going
for?
on. Yeah.
What do you usually like to look for? Do you have any specific filters, odds ranges, some markets you stay away from, or you just hit
Yeah.
anything and everything? Or what do you yeah, what does that look like now for
Yeah.
you a year
So
later?
for arbitrage, I find that like when I was hitting everything, right? Like I didn't have any minimum in terms of percentages, but
Yeah.
now I think like above 3% is usually what's worth my time on the arbitrage page.
Okay.
Because what happens is if I'm spending time on 1%, 2% arbs, then I'm just taking away time from higher ROI on either positive EV or
Hmm.
DFS stuff.
Okay.
And for the positive EV tool, like I like to be picky on those as well.
Okay.
Like
Are you on
5% is the minimum.
5%? Okay. Are you on your computer by the way, or are you on your phone right now on this call?
Right now I'm on my computer,
Okay.
but like I'm not by my screens right now. I'm just like
Oh, okay,
on my
okay.
computer.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Yeah, I guess yes,
But
just visually people listening to this because it is pretty straightforward. So yeah, positive EV
yeah,
5% and up. What about odds ranges? Do you hit like any odds or do you stick to certain?
yeah. So for positive EV straight bets, right now I'm trying to focus on short odds
Okay,
because
like
what
minus
happens is,
like favorite
yeah,
odds.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, exactly. So like if something's minus 110,
those are
then
the good ones.
like that's the positive EV bet, but then the value it's actually like based on the market, it's actually like minus 140 or minus 150, right?
Yeah, those are the
So
best. Those are
the
insane. Those are like the best. Those are
yeah,
my
they're harder
favorite
to
bets.
find.
Yeah, those are harder,
Yeah,
rarer, but those are my favorite bets to hit.
yeah.
Like those are
And you know what it is? It's like when you're hitting these short odds instead of long odds, like your variance is not
yeah.
as much, right? Like
Yep.
you'll have less of a chance of going through a string of losing days, right?
Yeah.
And like I already deal with that with DFS because that's all long odds. And it's mentally taxing going through losing days from DFS because you're taking long shot parlays pretty much. And yeah, so with the straight bets, I try to keep it short odds just to keep my mind in check because I'm already fucking going crazy when I lose for like a week straight.
Yeah, those I mean those are like the super high plus odds, like even in parlay, like EV parlays and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Those are insane because sometimes people would have really crazy runs and they'll run up an account like to the sky in two
Yeah,
seconds. But then the same thing can happen, in the other side of the
yeah,
spectrum.
exactly. Yeah. And
So
I
in
mean, like,
DFS, yeah.
no, go ahead. Finish your question.
Yeah, that. So yeah, you're saying you're also doing DFS, right? So what does that look like for you? What do you I saw on your Twitter it was like you were hitting some esports stuff too. You're basically just hitting everything, man, right?
Yeah, on DFS, in Canada, we don't have as many books that I would like there to be. The main books we have for DFS is Prize Picks, Underdog, Parlay Play, and that's pretty much it. Actually, we have Sleeper as well, but we don't have Bettor, Dabble, and Hot Streak, and a
Yeah.
few other ones. But I guess Prize Picks and Underdog are the main ones, right? In
Yeah.
my opinion. So on Underdog, I'm trying to focus on esports. And if anyone's wondering like how my bets look on Underdog and what esports plays I take, you can check them out in the Save a Discord. It's basically a Discord that OddsJam has created or Alex Monahan has created,
Yeah.
and he has a bunch of sharp bettors in there contributing and dropping their sharp plays. And yeah, I do prize picks as well. And then parlay play. Parlay plays like they're cheap. Like those guys are cheap asses. So there's not a whole lot of value
Yeah. There
on
used to
that
be so
DFS app.
good. Parlay Play used to
Yeah.
be so good like a year ago ish. And then
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
became the worst. They were like the easiest to beat at one point.
They're probably like, fuck, we're losing too much money. We gotta like,
Yeah. I couldn't.
juice our
Yeah.
fucking odds so people can't make money anymore.
Yeah. I was surprised how long they lasted like that. And then they became the worst, obvious. Well, for us. For the
Yeah.
normal degens, they don't care.
Yeah. Like
Um,
you can still on parlay play, you can still hit like the promo plays because I think right now they have Caleb Williams like a free square pretty much. And
yeah.
you can pair that with a couple other plays and you can still get positive EV out of that. So,
So how do you
I mean,
build
there's still
those?
opportunities.
So when you're
Yeah.
building your slips, what are you looking for? Do you just mix sports up, or do you stick to a specific sport per slip, or just basically anything that's off market, you put it together? How do you build your slips in DFS?
My first priority is to keep the sport the same or,
Okay.
keep the type of play the same. And the reason for that is tracking, right? Like I like to track the sports if I can in my picket, like, because it's hard to filter. If you mixing plays together, it's hard to filter and track each strategy when you have mixed plays. Like you can track it as a mixed play strategy, but I think if I separate it from sports, then it gives me a better representation of things. Like for example, esports, I think is completely different than, NFL, NBA.
Yeah.
So I like to play esports separately and track it separately. And because then that'll show me which sport has a better edge or better ROI. And then I can spend more of my time on that specific sport.
So which one is it right now for you? Which one is your most profitable?
Dude, esports is good. I think
Of course.
esports
Yeah.
is, yeah,
So new.
they don't
Yeah.
have it figured out. Yeah, they
Yeah,
don't have it
exactly.
figured out. Yeah. So so I mean they got like a bunch of gamer nerds
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
playing their games and stuff like that. And like I
Yeah.
don't it's not that big in Canada in terms of watching it. I mean people still watch Twitch streams and shit like that, but I don't
Yeah.
really know anyone who sits there and watches like a Counter-Strike match unless they're sweating it for a bet, right? So
Yeah. I
yeah, I
guess
mean,
mostly would be like gamers or kids, they would probably watch that. But for actual gamblers, I don't think there's people that model really well esports. You'll find some people on
yeah,
Twitter that are like really good at modeling esports and they're like insane. So
yeah,
I'm guessing so yeah, the OddsJam model too for that, is working for you, right?
yeah. I mean, like the sportsbook screen on OddsJam is a huge help for that as well because a
Yeah.
lot of the time for esports, for example, on
Yeah.
Underdog, you're looking at the first map or first and second map kills or headshots. So I'll just go on the sportsbook screen and then I'll filter it by the first two map kills, and then I'll scroll down to see by player, and then I'll see the different lines that each of the DFS apps have posted for
Okay.
those players, and then you can see what the outlier is, right? It's really that simple. And then you just bet the outlier, and then you make
Okay.
sure that on underdog you're taking either a 3 pick or a 5 and 6 pick. 3 pick uninsured because those are the most optimal with the best odds, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much my process
For
for esports.
esports.
And this
Okay.
is not a secret for me. Like I post this in the Save a Discord. So,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, because in the Save a Discord, I'm more focused on educating people to try to help with their process
Yeah.
instead of just posting plays for people to tail blindly. Um, but yeah,
Good.
because it's hard for me to post a lot of volume with my job and having a wife and kid and stuff like that. So I think
Of
it's better
course.
for me to post quality plays with better education.
That's really good, and thank you for that because
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do here in this podcast too. And all the interviews that I try to find, like all the different people that are doing this correctly, is find give them good plays and then also teach uh people how to do it because it's us against the books. I say that 100 million times, and I'll say it forever.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because the people
100%.
people that find their way into this small world of profitable EV betting, whether you're using OddsJam, originating your own stuff, uh, figuring it out your own way, I think that people should be sharing more about the normal general stuff. I know there's some secret edges out there that should be kept
Yeah.
very secret, but the
Yeah.
overall general information about top down betting is basically EV betting, figuring out who the outlier is, who the sharps are, or taking averages. There is no right or wrong way. There's no like one absolute truth as to this is EV, this is what sharp is, but just this overall knowledge of reading the market and then making sense of all this data um is
Yeah.
just the way to do it. Because there's some people that are not really like accountants by nature or work with data by nature, or and they're kind of just in the other realm, the other side of things, are just like, wait, what the heck is all of this stuff these dudes are saying on Twitter, and then they just disregard it because it might be too confusing for them. But then the people that do
Yeah.
want to actually listen to all this stuff, read follow good accounts, join the good discords, um learn and kill the books
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah, exactly. Fuck the books, man.
fuck them.
We're trying to rob all of them. Fuck those motherfuckers.
But yeah,
But yeah,
that's right.
going back to edges, like yeah, there's obviously top secret edges because what happens is if you share edges to enough people, it's just gonna dwindle
Yep.
because the sports book's gonna lose money. They're gonna find out how you're beating them, and then they're gonna kill the hedge.
Patch. Patch.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's certain edges out there that the masses already know, and we can share those edges because the sports books, even though the masses know, they still haven't, nuked those edges or nerfed those edges.
Yeah,
And
basic outlier
we share
stuff
those.
is
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
impossible because then you would have to there would have to be one monopoly of books, or like one monopoly that just gives everybody the same
Yeah.
lines, same odds, and they'll just change the brand or whatever. But there's not.
Yeah.
There's different companies competing with each other, and there's
Yeah.
hundreds and thousands of different odds and lines and sports and markets, and for it to be for EV bet, or like this type of traditional top down EV betting to not exist anymore, then it would all have to be the same, but it's not. So that's why this is all profitable for those that are still listening to this, are still like watching. They're like,
Yeah.
what the hell are these guys saying? Basically, that's what we're saying. This is
Yeah.
all just like the way to do it this way, which works very well still, and we'll keep working on as long as the market is inefficient.
Yeah, exactly. Like those inefficiencies, they won't be able to fix unless I don't know, they have a better data provider or whatever that comes from, the actual sharp books.
Yeah,
But yeah,
or a
we
monopoly.
can share those edges, and that's how you learn, right? Like that's how you start, educate yourself, and then you can get creative and find your own edges, whether it's with correlation or some other ways.
That's it. So I like to get into this section of because a lot of people can relate to this. This is following section we're gonna follow is
Sure.
so what do your friends and family think about you making money sports betting?
It's typical. Like I know I went on a trip with my in-laws recently, and then uh one day we were at the beach and they're like, Plad, why the fuck do you have two phones? Like, are you a fucking drug dealer or something? I'm like, bro, I'm just good at gambling. And like how believable does that sound? That doesn't sound believable at all.
All
Yeah.
DJ gamblers will say that. They're like, I'm good at this. I will make it one day. I will hit one big bet one day or something like that's probably what they think. What do they
Yeah,
say
so I
to
sound
them?
like the next guy, right?
Yeah,
At the
yeah.
end of the day. And then yeah, so basically there's a stigma, right? And there's still a stigma. I don't know if there ever won't be a stigma,
No, it will be
but they
for it
think
will be there forever. It'll
yeah, like they
always
think
be.
gambling's an addiction. It's like alcohol, weed, any type of drugs. But I don't
It
know, like
is,
because
but you
yeah,
can
it
do it
is to some
properly.
people.
But you can do it
Yeah.
properly. Here's the thing, like you could be addicted to gambling because it makes you a lot of money. But then you could be addicted to gambling and it'll lose you a lot of money. That's the negative side of it.
Yeah, but the positive side is like addicted to gambling to make money, but that's just like our job, like any other job,
Yeah,
right?
you enjoy it.
Um,
Yeah, it's like and you find
yeah,
enjoyment. So it's like addicted
yeah,
to be in a sense of like you'd be addicted to going to the gym, but it's good for you, like stuff like that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, there is that stigma, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what people fucking think, right? You're just gonna do what works for you and makes you happy.
What was that original talk with wife? Where you're like, hey, I think I found a way. Was she like, what? What are you saying? How was that?
she's yeah, she's like, you're a fucking idiot. Like, why why the hell are you doing this? You're gonna lose all our money. Like, we're gonna go broke. We won't be able to pay our mortgage and all that stuff, right?
And you were like,
And
watch. Or what'd you say?
but the, but then I said I literally said watch, and then I started paying her monthly. Like, I started giving her money to save for us, like, monthly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then she was still skeptical for, I'd say, probably 6 months. She's like, "You're gonna lose it all. Like, you're a
Well,
moron. You're a fucking idiot."
yeah.
And then I think after it was the 6 month mark, she's like, "Shit, I think you got to figure it out."
I think you
I'm
figured it
like, "I
out.
fucking told you."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it was like that for me too. Well, with my family.
Yeah, yeah,
It was like my parents were like, stop. Because I've done other stuff, like other online business ventures in the past that some have failed, some have
yeah,
gone well. And they were like, nope. And I was like, watch. I learned some shit now. Watch.
yeah, yeah. Don't believe me? Just
And
watch, right?
then watch. And then it was like, whew, it was crazy. I've been doing it, I
Yeah.
guess, like almost 2 years now in December. Because I started like
Okay.
looking into the EV side of things about December 2022. And then I had a
Okay.
tiny
Yeah.
bankroll. Bankroll was way too small. But then it was like it was like a 2K bankroll from bonuses. Cause I actually needed some money in that time. So like all the bonus stuff and all that, I took it. I was like, I need this. But
Yeah.
then I didn't leave it as a bankroll. And then slowly and slowly and slowly. And then I'm over 100K profit now. And I do it part time as
Beast.
well. But now, actually, I didn't even part time because I'll say it because I haven't bet in 5 months because I like betting basketball, college basketball, and NBA because that's just live.
Hmm.
You'll see. I don't know if you're getting into the live game yet, but those sports, since they're so fast because there's so many points, are the
Yeah.
easy and far more the best to do live betting on. And also if you have limited accounts, which obviously you everybody will have limited accounts,
Yeah.
since there's so many bets going on, you could get down a lot of volume on those limited accounts. Um, so yeah, definitely look into
Okay.
that when basketball. Like I think it's about to start actually. Actually, we're in preseason now. So
Yeah, I think NHL started a few days ago. I don't know about basketball.
yeah,
I think,
NBA.
yeah, I did
We're in
see some bets on
preseason right now.
basketball
Yeah,
actually.
we're some NBA preseason now. College basketball. I think starts in November, if I'm not mistaken, beginning of November. But
Yeah.
yeah, those NBA and college basketball for live, it is amazing. There's so much stuff there, even just
Yeah.
traditional top down like outlier stuff. Uh, it's so easy. It's so easy.
Are you
So
doing like totals? Is it mostly totals that
everything,
are okay?
everything,
Totals and
everything.
spreads,
Total spreads,
player
player
props.
props, everything.
Okay.
Middles, arbs, everything, whatever, everything. Um,
What books?
so I'm in Colombia right now. I say it in every podcast because we get to the section, but then I'm going
Yeah, I
to the
heard the last one.
States. Yeah, I'm going to the
Yeah.
States in about 2 weeks. Um, and whatever I can get my hands on. I go to New Jersey, so Bet365, FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, every variation of combi books, wherever I can get volume down because that's what I'm going strictly for. Just gluing myself for the slates. I'm not even gonna. I don't. Pregame is amazing, right? Like you could, it's profitable, but for my time, I'll rather dedicate those 4, 5, 6 hours a day strictly live, so I can get down 100 bets and or more
Right.
plus 100 bets plus per day. Um, so yeah,
So on the
definitely
limited accounts, you're like, let's say you're getting
everything's
down
limited.
$50 or $100 on a ARB or something, and then you'll probably making like $5, and then it just adds up.
Yeah, ROI is around 5% for me, but then I could get down 30K, 40K in one night because I'm hitting
Holy,
everything.
wow.
20K sometimes. Yeah, 30K. So it's a really good.
No, that's
Uh,
good to know because people think that once your accounts are limited, that,
no,
your
no.
hands are tied, but
You're maxing
that's not the
everything.
case.
No, you're maxing
Yeah,
everything. You're maxing it out.
right.
I'm all in,
Yeah.
all limited, and I still get all of that down. And you'll see a lot of people, especially MGM. MGM is so easy to beat, and even on limited accounts, like you'll get it like a $80 max or $100 max, which is insane because you could just be hitting, you could be laddering bets when the lines are off. Like OddsJam will pop all of that up in the live
Hmm.
EV section, and you'll just ladder everything. Like it's crazy. I had a friend that was using OddsJam last year. He was streaming it. I had two friends actually. Elf was streaming it. I don't know if you heard saw seen Elf
Yeah.
somewhere in the
Yeah.
OddsJam stuff. I was helping him with the
Yeah.
streams. And then also a friend, Eric, he was also using OddsJam, and then it was all just MGM, just basically live UV spamming. And yeah,
Right.
so yeah,
So
definitely
when
get
you're
into a
doing it,
live game.
when you're doing live EV, you're, I guess you're just comparing it to, because I think OddsJam calculates the no vig odds, right, for you
Yeah.
right there. So you can see
Yep.
how much value it is based on that.
Yeah.
Or do you like try to
I
look at
don't
a specific sharp
max.
book?
So here's the thing: when I
Yeah.
live EV, right, with live,
Uh-huh.
you'll just look at. I'll look at it basically just the book to be off of everything, off of Pinnacle, off of
Okay,
the rest of
okay.
the market. You'll just like this is off max, this is off max. I don't look at what EV percentage. I'll just look for it to be
Right.
completely off because that'll since it's live, it's lagging behind what's actually happening. So the concept there is mostly getting lines that are off. So let's say the total should be, I don't know, let's say you're playing basketball, you're doing NBA, it should be, I don't know, 210, and then you'll get a 206. So you'll just max it right on the over, right? Because it's 4 points off. So mostly just bad lines instead of just looking at
Okay.
odds, right? Bad lines off of what the 50-50 line should be, right? The minus 120,
Right.
minus 110 line should be. You're getting 4 points, 6 points off. And you're just slamming, slamming, slamming bad
That's
lines,
sick.
not bad odds. And then live, that's usually
Okay.
how it works. That's why basketball is
So,
so good, right? Because you'll get 4, 5, 6 points off. But in like I don't know football or like other sports that have less points, the total isn't really
yeah,
that off. But then you can still get
it's not
EV
moving
off of
enough.
you'll get EV off of the same line with better odds. But yeah, hopefully somebody whoever listened all the way here, that's the nugget for live betting basketball, college and NBA. Bad lines. The spreads,
Okay.
same thing, right? The spread should be, I don't know, you're getting 3 points in your favor or 2 points off or 5 points off sometimes. Sometimes you'll see some miracles of like something happened and one book just their live model glitched or something, right? And then they since that's why live is so insane because their models still glitch a lot and their lines don't even catch up to what's happening. Um, Stuff like that.
Right. No, that makes sense. So are you doing short or long odds, or it doesn't matter? You're just
I
slamming
like
everything.
I like to stick to what the 50-50 range is.
Okay. So
So
shorter odds.
like from like minus 130 to like plus 120, I'll be hitting that range, right? The 50-50 range. I don't go into
Okay.
like personally, right? I'm not saying it doesn't work. I don't go into the plus 400 area, plus 600 area. Me, just because I like that. I like to just get it. get 100 bets down in one night, and then
Hmm.
in the 50-50 range, then you'll be consistently in the green. Sometimes you have red days, obviously, but
Yeah.
like it's like in a week you'll end up in green if you do it, like if you get down over 100 bets. So
Okay.
that's how I live EV bet with OddsJam.
Yeah,
That's
no,
it.
that totally makes sense. Yeah, that's good because people don't know these little nuances, right? When they start using
Yeah,
the live tool,
yeah,
it's one of those things where you learn over time. Etsy, it's just like
yeah.
everything else. There's a learning curve.
Yeah, that's mostly like what you learn after you understand the basic EV fundamentals, what no vig odds are, whatever, all that stuff. All that stuff works, it's great. But then the live game is hit bad lines, hit bad lines, hit bad lines, get points in your favor in the spread, in whatever player rebounds, player every anything. Just get points in your get the lines that are wrong, and then just because you might see I don't know. The market says this total should be 210 points at minus 110, but then you could get over 203 at minus 140, right? It's the odds are worse, but you're getting 5 points in your favor from the line.
Crazy value. Yeah.
So even though the odds are getting a worse payout, you're getting 5 points in your favor, which is more valuable than those 30 cents off, 20 cents off in the long run,
Yeah,
because
that makes sense.
the game hasn't updated correctly in that book, right? The whole market updated it correctly, but then the points that are being played should be for that line in odds. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's the live EV
No,
game.
that makes sense. That makes sense, bro.
That's the live EV game for basketball, right?
Yeah.
So dropping crazy nuggets there for whoever listened. If you apply
Yeah,
what I
just
just said,
dropping edges.
yeah, and that's OddsJam, using OddsJam. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
apply that, if whoever just listened to that applies that for these next 7 or 8 months and just blasts their entire bankroll, you can make six figures easily
Free
in that.
game, bro. That's a free game right there.
Yeah,
Hopefully some of you made it this far.
yeah, exactly. Whoever made this far. Um,
Yeah. Stop listening to fucking Joe Rogan for like 4 hours and listen to this for like 20 minutes and you'll make
yeah,
more money.
this is using OddsJam, so
Yeah.
that's it. There's more secret stuff out there. I will wink, wink, keep that. But that right there, which is why, in a sense, the Oz Platinum plan is a little more expensive because you can make a lot more money live. Um, so yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. Actually, I don't even know if it's still. I haven't looked into. Last time I checked, the live ARB and live EV was in the platinum plan. I don't know if they're gonna switch it or if it's now as a separate thing. I have no idea, but yeah, you need the platinum plan or the live stuff for Ozin because it's way more like it's way more data for them to process. It's crazy. So I'm guessing, yeah, there's just
Yeah, it's the platinum plan, but unless they changed something recently. But
yeah,
yeah, you
it's
sign up for the platinum plan and you get
platinum
access
plan.
to the live EV, live ARBs, and then live middles.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess we could end it there. This is gonna end in 3 minutes, so it
Sweet.
doesn't cut us off randomly. Thank you, Plad, for sharing your story. Thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys in the next one. I feel like a YouTuber. It's so funny. I see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Stop.